I'm Mo Rocca, and I'm excited to announce Season 4 of my podcast, Mobituaries. I've got a whole new bunch of stories to share with you about the most fascinating people and things who are no longer with us. From famous figures who died on the very same day, to the things I wish would die, like buffets. All that and much more. Listen to Mobituaries with Mo Rocca wherever you get your podcasts.
Inspired by the life of the savvy and ambitious Colombian businesswoman Griselda Blanco comes a new Netflix original limited series. Griselda tells the story of a devoted mother who, with her lethal blend of charm and relentless savagery, creates one of the most powerful cartels in history. Witness Sofia Vergara's captivating transformation into the godmother of the underworld. Griselda, streaming January 25th, only on Netflix.
Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. This is your host, Debbie. Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. I'm your host, Debbie, and today we have some very special guests here on the podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Joshua Palmer.
My name is Mayalyn McGee.
And what do you guys do?
So I own Joshua Tree Adventure Builders. It's a van building / adventure company. We try to get you out there and just on the road and out in the world.
Yeah, that's amazing. And one of the first questions I always ask is, what brought you to Waco, or are you a Waco native?
Well, so I've been here about 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I met my wife here, and she's a Waco native, and her name is Rihanna Alvarado, Alforia Studio.
Shout out.
So we got married, and I really fell in love with this town, and I really want to help grow it and make it something really special.
Yeah. And how long have you been living in Waco?
My whole life.
So you are a Waco native.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. But yeah, and so now you're going to be hosting a First Friday night market. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so opportunity came up to host a market in downtown Waco, across from Jesse's Tortilla Factory. So I just really want to grow the downtown environment, and this opportunity came up. So we were like, oh yeah, so a night market would be great. There's not too much night market stuff activity going around, especially in downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's going to be vendors, a live band. We got T. Aguilar coming to play for
shout
us
out.
with he's going to have live painting with
Ooh.
Town Hall is going to open for him. And really the goal of the market is just to kind of get people in downtown First Friday, just really kind of get an outdoor event going for everybody. So.
And why do you think that's so important for specifically downtown Waco?
Well, just because I'm trying to, the whole downtown seems to really have a lot of events going on, but there's not enough like stuff you see when you're just driving around. So
Yeah.
people that are new or not really knowing what's going on around here might not see those events. So we're trying to partner with local businesses to have like, hey, come to the market. And then, oh, by the way, when you're leaving, here's a coupon for 2 free cookies at Milk Bottle or something like
Yeah.
that. So we're trying to partner with local businesses and kind of see what's going on there. So
Yeah, that's so cool. So what's the whole idea behind First Friday?
First Friday is just it's the first Friday of the month, and it's just trying to get people out there and just trying to get downtown livelier and trying to get people interested in coming downtown and, having a good night, and families, just something for everybody to do. So
Yeah, that's so fun. And what is one of your goals with this to have by the end of the year? We're already in November. We're getting the first one started. So you got another month, basically.
Yeah.
So what is one of your big goals by the end of the year?
Well, so one of the big goals is just to kind of get the proof of concept going and just try to see if it's a viable, market, which I think it will. We had tons of interest already.
Yay.
We've already got several vendors, and just having a worthwhile event downtown, and then
Yeah.
hopefully by next year we can really have it kicking in full swing, and we can have shows and events and just a lot of entertainment. So when you come downtown, it's not just like, hey, come buy something. It's more of like, hey, come have an experience, and then have an experience everywhere else too.
Yeah.
So.
And so you said the event is happening right across from the Jesse's Tortilla Factory, and that's also just a couple blocks up from the silos too, right?
Yeah, so it's on Webster, which is the same road as the silos, and it's 13th and Webster. Yeah, so it's at there's a big, beautiful mural right out there at the location, and it's going to be underneath a big tree. We've got over 800 feet of commercial lights that we're going to string. It's going to be all off-grid. It's going to be powered by big batteries, so there's no generators running, disturbing anything. We'll have food. It's just going to be a very fun place to start your Friday night.
Yeah, that's that's fantastic. That's wonderful. Well, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
And now for a word from our sponsors.
Welcome to One Star Rewind, a new podcast about those dreaded one-star reviews that every business owner hates to receive, but yet every customer loves to read. During this podcast, we will peel back that one-star review to better understand how it happened, when it happened, and what the business owner is doing after receiving that one-star review. This podcast will be about love, hate, and laughter. On One Star Rewind, we will meet with real business owners who will tell their stories and how they do rely on reviews for their business. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or download us at roguemedianetwork.com. Please subscribe, but only rate and review for not a one-star review. Join us each time for a new review and a new story.
What's your emergency?
Do you hear that? It's coming from the house.
It's coming from inside the house? Do you mean? Could it be?
The Poltergeist. New from Rogue Media. Two haunted hotties talking about haunted places. Every episode we dive deep into the darkest places and give you a bit of history.
We're getting spooky in all the right places.
You've gobbled your last ghoul.
Follow along for the craziest and spookiest stories with Debbie's Dark Tourism. The Stanley Hotel,
Winchester House,
The Alamo,
Hotel Monte Vista,
and more spooky places. Find us at _Poltergals. POLTERGALS.
Look over your shoulder. It's us,
The Poltergals. Wherever you consume the podcast, you can find us there.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
And now, back to the episode.
And we just talked about how some of your goals are for the end of the year and all the exciting things that are going to be seen this Friday. So you've actually been involved with downtown quite a lot. You do the farmers market and stuff like that. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so we are at the Waco Downtown Farmers Market. We sell honey for Round Rock Honey out of Round Rock. And we've been there doing that for a little over 3 years now.
Oh, wow.
And it's just a great, we honestly spend just as much as we make, and but we love putting it back into the market and our local businesses. So, and it's just a great way to be involved in the community and help out, and just to meet local entrepreneurs and get involved. So.
That's super cool. So you do like van builds and stuff. So a fun fact about me, I actually lived in an RV for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So that was a fun time in my life.
Yeah.
I didn't actually like build it out or anything. I did paint it, make it look cutesy, and I had like contact wallpaper and like did the whole like interior design thing. But like, so that's pretty fun. So tell me more about Joshua Tree.
Okay, so Joshua Tree was born out of we love to travel and adventure and just, have fun, just kind of. So my background is I grew up, I do remodels, I do pretty much anything. I do metalworking and woodworking, and just, I love.
Electrical.
Yeah, I enjoy the creative process of building and creating. And then when I got an opportunity to build my first van, it was just a combination of all of my talents, and I really enjoyed it. It was I built it from an empty box van to a beautiful home that the guy that I built it for, he lived in it for 5 years, traveling through Mexico.
Wow.
Just such a great event. And I was just really... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going along with what you were saying. Sorry.
Just agreeing.
Yeah. But, so... and just seeing that and how much joy he got out of having a traveling home, I was like, man, I could do this for a business. So I created Joshua Tree Adventure Builders. And I like to say to people, like, whether it's 500 or 500,000, we like to get you out there and just, get you traveling. And we do like pretty much anything that facilitates that. But also I do a lot of fabrication and customization of food trucks and pretty much anything you need.
That's cool.
I have a lot of problem solving skills. So.
Yeah.
And one of the first builds Joshua did was he turned a bus, like a school bus, into a giant house.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I love schoolies. Those are so cool.
Yeah, that was our personal one, and we took that thing to New York, through the Smoky Mountains, all over the place.
Fun.
It was a little scary at times, driving a big old bus through little narrow canyons, but at the same time, it was a really big blast. So.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's great. And so you guys are involved, and your wife is very involved in the community as well.
Yeah, so my wife is Rihanna Alvarado. She has Artforia Studio Garden. She teaches art and gardening to kids, and then she also does murals around town, and she's a master gardener. She's just very talented and very, very in the community. So that's kind of our whole thing, is we're just really into just growing this community, and just being part of it. Like, it's like being 100%. So.
Yeah. And speaking of murals, there's one in downtown Waco, right off of Boston Avenue, of your van build, or of a van.
Yeah. So if you're driving down right across from Cultivate, there's a mural my wife did for the Chalk Walk. And
still there. Still hanging
still
on.
It still looks good.
It still looks beautiful.
I can't wait for next year on the Chalk Walk. We'll see what kind of space we get and see what we can do.
Bigger and better.
Yeah, make it even bigger and better. So it'd be really fun. So.
Yeah, well, that's so cool. Thank you guys for coming on today. One of the opportunities I like to give is a shout out section. Is there anybody you would like to shout out that has helped you on this journey?
Yeah, I would definitely say, I'd love to shout out to my wife. She's been a huge help. She's definitely all the words you see behind my post are her. And just our family, and then just the people around us. I would say, like, Rogue Media Group's been a really big help, and Waco Acts, and just everybody. The whole town's really been really getting behind everything and helping us out, so I'm very thankful.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. And then, of course, give us all your social medias. Give us all the ats where we can find all the information.
Yeah, totally. So my business is Joshua Tree Adventure Builders on Instagram, and I have a website. It's joshuatreeadventurebuilders.com. But for the market, it's Night Market on Webster, and our first one is going to be this Friday, November 4th.
Whoop, whoop. What time?
From 6 to 9.
6 to 9.
This evening.
Hopefully we don't get rained out, but even if we do, come on out.
We're just going to hang out.
Yeah, just going to hang out and, put a lot of canopies up.
There you go.
Yeah.
But then there's my wife at Warm Honey Toast. She has a blog that you can check out, and that's pretty much it, yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on again. Is there anything else you would like our listeners to know?
No, just come on out. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be very family friendly, and let's start our first Friday night on Webster.
Whoop, whoop.
Mm-hmm.
Find us everywhere on all social media platforms, KNOW_Waco. Check us out at roguemedianetwork.com, and we're on YouTube under Rogue Media Network. Check out nowaco.com.